You know, the most profitable marketing dollar isn't spent on a new ad. It's actually generated automatically from the customer who already bought your product. So what is this hidden cross-sell system that can literally double the revenue you get from your existing customer base? Today, we're going to peel back the layers on a mechanism that's humming along right under the surface of the world's fastest growing companies. This isn't about chasing new customers. It's about a systematic approach that turns the loyalty you've already earned into your most powerful and, honestly, your most predictable growth engine. Just for a second, think about your own marketing budget. All the money, all the effort you pour into ads, campaigns, and chasing leads, all just to try and convince total strangers to trust you. This quote right here, it flips that entire model on its head. It suggests that the real leverage, the actual path of least resistance to real sustainable growth, lies with the people who have already said yes to you. This is a huge shift in perspective. It redefines where true profit comes from. It's about moving from that leaky bucket model of constantly acquiring new users to building a fortified base of customers whose value just keeps growing over time. And that brings us right to our big question. What exactly is this hidden system? Let me tell you what it's not. It's not about aggressive sales tactics or just blasting out more emails. It's a precise, data-driven engine. It runs on specific, observable behaviors that your users are already doing inside your product. And it leverages some core principles of human psychology to make upgrading feel like the most natural, obvious next step for the customer. So over the next few minutes, we're going to dissect this engine piece by piece so you can see exactly how it turns customer success into predictable revenue. All right, here's our roadmap for this deep dive. We'll start with what I call the growth paradox, the thing that blinds so many businesses to their biggest asset. Then we're going to tackle an urgent industry-wide problem, the customer acquisition crisis. From there, we'll reveal the solution, the cross-sell engine, and break down the psychology that makes it so effective. And finally, we'll give you a practical blueprint to implement this yourself before we wrap up with the core insight on the future of profit. Okay, so our journey begins with a really common and frankly an incredibly expensive misunderstanding that just plagues modern business. It's a paradox that keeps companies spending absolute fortunes chasing strangers, mesmerized by new logos, while a literal goldmine of opportunity is just waiting patiently in their own backyard. This is the great oversight of that growth at all costs mindset. The appeal of new is powerful, right? New leads, new logos, new markets. We see those as the main signs of progress. But this relentless hunt creates a massive strategic blind spot. We completely forget that the people who have already paid us, who have woven our product into their daily lives, and who actually trust our brand, they represent the absolute path of least resistance to revenue. They're already sold. The skepticism is gone. The gold mine isn't out there somewhere in the cold market. It's right here in the high-trust environment of your current users. Now, this paradox isn't just some business school theory anymore. For a lot of companies, it's become an existential threat. The old way of growing, the model built on just acquiring new customers no matter the cost, it's breaking down. Ad costs are soaring, competition is everywhere, and with all the changes in data privacy, we are smack in the middle of a customer acquisition crisis. And it's forcing a really radical and honestly, and necessary change in strategy. This comparison just lays out the new reality perfectly. On the left, you've got the old playbook, acquiring new customers. The costs are through the roof, performance is totally unpredictable thanks to algorithms and market shifts, and every single relationship starts from a place of zero trust. Now look at the right. This is the new playbook, expanding existing customer accounts. Here, the costs are minimal, the revenue's way more predictable, and you're building on a solid foundation of trust that you've already earned. The strategic choice here is crystal clear. Shift your focus from the left column to the right. And this chart, wow, this just drives the point home with cold, hard economics. Look at that first bar, your customer acquisition cost, or CAC. It's the highest expense here. It's all your sales and marketing spend. Now look at the second bar, the cost to get expansion revenue from a customer you already have. It's dramatically, almost laughably lower. But here's the kicker, that third bar. Not only is expansion revenue cheaper, it also massively increases the total lifetime value, or LTV, of that customer. This is exactly why the smartest companies are now obsessed with maximizing net dollar retention, or NDR. Think of NDR as the vital sign of your business's health. If your NDR is over 100%, it means you would still grow even if you didn't sign a single new customer this year. That is the power of expansion. So, if the problem is the acquisition crisis and the goal is to maximize expansion revenue, what's the solution? Well, it's not about sending more emails or telling your sales team to just sell harder. It's about installing a predictable, automated, data-driven system. So let's pop the hood and take a look at this cross-sell engine. This is the core mechanism. It's this elegant, four-step process that systematically turns what your customers do into revenue. It all starts with step 1, success signal mapping. This is about listening to your users' actions, not their words. That leads directly to step 2, an in-product trigger, an automated prompt that shows up at the exact moment of highest intent. That trigger then presents a solution to the customer's next logical problem. And it all leads to step 4, a totally frictionless purchase. Let's dig into that first and most important step. The entire system is built on this one foundation, success signal mapping. This is where you stop guessing and you start listening to the data. It's about defining those precise moments inside your product when a user's actions are screaming at you that they've gotten so much value that they're now ready for more. This is a huge shift. Your product's own usage data becomes your most powerful sales intelligence. It's the ultimate source of truth, telling you exactly who's ready to buy, what they need, and crucially, when to ask. And here's what that looks like in the real world. For a project management tool, the signal isn't a sales call. It's the moment a user invites their 10th team member. That one action tells you their team is growing. Their next logical problem, they need advanced admin controls to manage the chaos. For an analytics platform, it's a user creating their 50th custom report. That tells you they rely on your data, so their next logical problem is automating all that manual work. And for cloud storage, the signal is hitting 90% capacity. The problem is obvious. They need more space. See the pattern? In every single case, the customer's own success with your product creates a brand new, more advanced need. And that right there is the secret sauce. This system never feels like a random pushy upsell. Why? Because the offer is a direct solution to a problem the customer is just now starting to feel. Their success with your basic product has basically graduated them to a new, more advanced challenge. You aren't just selling them another feature, you're guiding them to the next stage of their own journey. You're selling the next chapter in their success story, and that feels helpful, not opportunistic. Okay, so now that we get the mechanics, let's talk about the magic. Why is this system so incredibly effective? The answer isn't just in the data and the timing. It's in two really powerful principles of human psychology that make saying yes to your offer the easiest, most natural decision a customer can make. The first principle is called commitment and consistency. Once a person makes a decision, like buying your product and weaving it into their life, a powerful internal pressure kicks in to stay consistent with that choice. Think about all the little micro commitments they've already made, the time they spent on setup, the effort to invite their team, creating those first reports. Every action reinforces their initial decision. So when you offer them the next logical step, it is so much easier psychologically for them to expand that commitment than it is to admit their first choice was a mistake and start all over with a competitor. This comparison makes the psychology crystal clear. Look at the left column. To get that new feature from a competitor, the customer faces a mountain of friction. This creates a huge cognitive load. That's the total amount of brain power they have to use. They have to learn a new interface, manage a risky data migration, retrain their entire team. It's exhausting. Now look at the right. Accepting your in-product offer is the definition of low friction and what psychologists call cognitive ease. It's one click, it delivers instant value, and it happens inside the familiar ecosystem they already know and trust. The human brain is literally wired to choose the simplest path, and this system makes upgrading the simplest, most obvious path forward. Okay, so we've covered the theory. Now let's get practical. This isn't just some fascinating idea, it's a highly actionable framework that you can apply to your own business. Let's walk through the blueprint for building your own behavioral cross-sell engine and turn this strategy into real-world results. There are 3 essential steps. First, you have to do the work of mapping your success signals. That means digging into your product analytics and finding those 3 to 5 key user behaviors that are just screaming, "I'm succeeding and I'm ready for more." Second, you have to carefully design the offer, not as a list of features, but as the only solution to their next logical problem. You've got to frame it in their words, answering the question, what new pain is my success causing? And third, and this part is absolutely non-negotiable, you must prioritize delivering this offer inside your product at the exact moment the customer feels that pain. And if you need any convincing on that last point, this chart says everything. Just look at these average conversion rates. A traditional sales call might get you 10%. A really well-crafted email campaign, maybe 25% if you're lucky. But an in-product prompt delivered at that moment of peak intent, a staggering 65%. The reason is so simple. The context and the timing are perfect. The user is in your app, they just ran into a limitation, and your solution appears right there, right then, like a lifeline. An email an hour later is already too late. A sales call next week is just an annoying interruption. This is about solving the problem the very instant they feel it. So as we bring this all together, what's the big takeaway here? This system is more than just a clever tactic. It's a whole new philosophy for growth. It's a shift from that hunter mindset, always chasing new logos, to a farmer mindset, where you're methodically cultivating more and more value from the relationships you already have. This quote just captures the essence of it all, doesn't it? Your greatest opportunity for profitable growth isn't in convincing strangers, it's in better serving your believers. A customer you've already retained is a pre-qualified, high-trust, low-cost opportunity for profit that's just waiting for you to light up the next logical step on their journey. The revenue is right there. You just have to build the system to ask for it at the right time, in the right way. And that's the final, crucial reframe. We usually think of marketing and sales as pushing people through a funnel. This system does the exact opposite. It pulls them toward more value. It creates this powerful, virtuous cycle. When your customers succeed, their needs evolve, and they need more from you. And when you provide that next step seamlessly, you succeed. Your profit becomes a direct byproduct of enabling your customers' success. So the crucial point, the one idea I want you to take away from all of this is this: stop selling products and features. Instead, get obsessed with your customer's journey. Figure out where they're going, anticipate what they'll need to get there, and then simply sell them the next step of their own success.